Welcome back to Mod My Civic Si presented by eBay Motors. We are pumped to do the final reveal to Cavill and you guys, but before that, we are gonna hit the dyno and finish up a few things. If you guys haven't watched episodes 1 and 2, be sure to do so because the transformation on this vehicle has been epic. We are now going to jump into the interior and take care of one of the sore spots in this car that's gonna bring it up to modern day standards. So inside the Civic Si, the interior is actually quite well done. I do love the center mounted tack. I do love the shifter position on it. The parking brake, well, you know what? It's still an actual analog one, which is nice. I don't necessarily love this, but we're not gonna be changing that. We're not gonna be changing the steering wheel because everything I think on this car has a good layout, except the audio system. If you look at this, this is circa 2010, and of course it has no real connectivity. It doesn't really give you what you want from an audio system in today's standards. So what I have done is I've gotten an Extrons unit that is a direct fit. I've had great success with Extrons in my BMWs, so I'm pretty confident this one is going to work really well. So let's get this thing installed and boot it up and we'll show you what it looks like. And there you have it, the Extrons unit is installed, which by the way is available on eBay. The installation was very, very straightforward. The one issue I did run into is they provide you with a plug and play harness. However, I was getting no sound out of the speakers and I had to wire in an amp connection into the actual, like one of the wires off of the plug to make it all work. So minor little hiccup, but it seems to be working. Everything is well. You now have, Cavill now has a 10.1 inch screen here. This is an Android Auto based unit, so it has everything that you would think you want on here. You've got Chrome, you've got YouTube, you've got ways to dial in your audio. You even have this cool Torque app, which if you get a OBD2 connector, you can hook it up and then you can monitor things like power, engine temps, all this stuff. So I think Cavill's gonna be really happy with this thing. Check out this shift knob. It's all worn and tattered, and of course it's OEM Honda, which is good, but not great. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make an upgrade here. Bam, look at that. This is Hybrid Racing's 130R, which by the way, is named after a corner in Suzuka, which gives you extra JDM points, which is what always every Honda guy wants. And they do have this really nice shift boot collar, which I think just like finishes everything off. I really like the length of this shifter. I like how it feels in your hand. It's like perfect for JDM shift boyness. So I think that is going to be a wrap in this interior now.
Oh, look at that. Barely got some on my thumb there, PT. That's a pretty good pull for me. I'm normally the world's messiest oil changer, and this oil does look like it was due for a change. It is pretty black, and this car's pretty high mileage. It's got over 200,000 kilometers on it, so it has seen some VTEC in its day. And we thought, you know what, we're going to the dyno, and I'm gonna take this car to the track afterwards with Cavill, the owner.
So DP, about that perfect pull.
Yeah, I know. I probably just got oil on my hat too. There may have been a small error on my part while removing the oil filter, but nothing little.
You know what? I'm not gonna blame you for it because I think the way this car is designed,
yeah,
the oil runs down the side here, right?
Onto the
which is why there's like, look at all of the grime on this one side.
Yep.
And I think that's because the way the oil drains.
Yeah, it's in a really
not great.
awkward spot. Like you only have like one pathway to get to it, and yeah, there's nowhere for the oil to go. So bit of a mess, but brake clean and a rag and we'll be good to go. Well, although I've undercoated this car a little bit with oil already, you can see there is quite a bit of rust on the subframe and on some nuts and bolts under here. So we're gonna treat the underside here to some fluid film black. If you're a fan of our channel, then you will have seen us use fluid film before. It is a really amazing product. It's actually lanolin based, and it goes on quite sticky and it congeals and sort of sticks really well, and it doesn't tend to drip and make a big mess. And it does an excellent job of undercoating and preventing rust from spreading, but you can also use it to like lubricate things. You can use it in door locks. It's a really versatile product, so try it out sometime. We call this PT's hot sauce because he puts this stuff on everything, and I'm on board with it too these days. We've had really good luck with using it. You can see it's just super easy to apply.
It's like painting your car black all over again. Look at this.
Yeah, I like the black. It really does just make the ugliness of the rust go away. Very satisfying and quick. It is time to sauce the motor up, and as you can see, we are using Valvoline's Racing Synthetic. This is their VR1 racing oil, and the reason we're doing that is because we're gonna give this car a bit of a thrashing on the dyno and at the track, as I mentioned before. So I thought, you know what, why not give it this high zinc formula, which does an exceptional job of protecting the bearings. The downside, of course, to going to a high zinc formula like this is that it's not really designed for street cars, primarily the emission system and primarily the catalytic converter. So over time, a high zinc formula like this can harm the catalytic converter. However, I've talked with Michael Wahorlik, who's a PhD chemist at Valvoline, and he's worked extensively both on the motorsport side and the street oil side. And he did tell me we're perfectly fine to use this with a cat for, you know, limited use scenarios like a weekend at the racetrack, and then go back to a proper full synthetic street oil or whatever street oil you want to run. And in fact, we've done exactly that for many years now in many of our cars, and we haven't harmed a cat with this. So I think you'd be perfectly safe to run this on race weekends. You know, let's say you go to the track 6 or 8 weekends a year, run this on those weekends to protect your bearings, and then go back to a street oil to protect your emission systems. As a matter of fact, after the dyno and the track, we are going to give Cavill a jug or two of Valvoline's full synthetic. This is their high mileage street oil. As you can see, it's got their max life technology in it, which is helps like service the seals and everything, prevents leaks, helps clean up the inside of the engine as well. Look at this, everybody. Cavill getting all the goodies from hybrid racing. This cap design is really slick. Check it out, they put their logo on the underside here, and this little lever on top folds down, inspired by like the fuel door caps on airplanes or aerospace usage. So, man, that is super slick. I like that a lot. And look at how like flush it tucks down into the valve cover. That's right. You can get this on eBay because these days you can get everything on eBay. You pretty much put whatever you want in the search window there and somebody will be selling it on eBay. So there you go, guys. Another killer product from Hybrid available on maybe the easiest and most convenient vendor out there. Last but not least, we have one more piece to install here, and this is a brake master cylinder stopper from Stage 4 Motorsports. Obviously, this is made by Hard Race. Stage 4 Motorsports is our source for everything Hard Race. So this looks very simple. It looks like it's just gonna bolt in here. And as you can see, the stopper will then make contact with the end of the master cylinder. And I was never a big believer in this idea until I actually tried it on my race car back in the day, and I felt a noticeable difference in the way the brake pedal felt. It really takes flex out of the master cylinder on the firewall. It just takes all that flex out and gives you a firmer, more responsive feeling brake pedal. So this really does work. Now that we've got the stopper here tightened down to the end of the master cylinder, you can see I can reef on that and it does not go anywhere. And you'll be amazed if you go and grab the master cylinder on your own car and reef on it, it moves a surprising amount. And this gets rid of all that flex so you have a nice firm pedal feel. And that, my friends, is what you call a wrap. This thing is ready to go to the dyno where Tuning by Nick's gonna work his magic on it. Get that VTEC crack-a-lackin'. All right, we made it. We are at Nick's shop. Of course, his business is called Tuning by Nick, and this is your new place with your new dyno. It's a dyno jet.
Yep, this is the first time you guys have been here, right?
It is, yeah. No, it's great, and we just did an initial pull on the stock tune.
Yeah, so I had loaded up a factory calibration just to see if we get like a baseline for this, because it's cheating if we start with my tuned base map right off the bat. But I thought it would be a good idea to show what it would be like if you hadn't put a base map on or hadn't tuned it and tried to do these mods.
Right.
And it doesn't work well.
It did not like it, and it's this intake because it gets rid of the MAF and goes to a map-based system.
Basically, the intake's too big, the MAF goes out of calibration, and the tune doesn't have enough fuel for all the extra air that's coming in, right?
So it ran lean to the top end.
So it goes a bit lean, and I didn't actually do a full pull because it was just too lean. So, yeah, we have a good baseline at least to compare it to when we're done tuning today.
Which is well below what a stock baseline with a stock intake would have made. So it goes to show you, if you're going to install this intake, you got to be committed to really going and getting it tuned properly.
Like, you'll make it worse if you do these mods without a tune.
Yeah. The upside is, though, this is apparently the best performing intake with a tune.
Yep.
So that's why we're here. We want the best numbers we can get for Cavill. All right, that was easy.
Just like that.
That's a couple keystrokes in there, and wow, it made some really solid power.
Yep.
For an engine with over 200,000 kilometers on it, I think 196 at what, 8,100 RPM-ish?
Peak was, 8,100.
And max torque of 146 at 6,200 by the look of it?
Yep.
Those are really solid numbers.
Pretty solid considering it's just an intake and an exhaust system. Everything else is completely stock.
Yeah, and I did a quick search on the internet, and these cars, bone stock, typically dyno around 175 to 180 on a dyno jet, so those are really solid numbers.
And we have in blue what it was without a tune.
Right.
So it did not run well,
No.
and you can see the difference in power.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable, and you did obviously move the VTEC engagement point.
I did. It has two VTEC points. It has full throttle VTEC at 46, and then if you're just cruising, VTEC will engage at about 6,000.
Right, and stock, it engages.
It was about
58 or something,
58,
so
so you can see where it didn't like engaging with the old tune. So
right, and moving it down obviously helps sort of fill in this area of the graph, isn't it?
more power earlier.
Why not?
Yeah.
More VTEC is more better, everyone.
Exactly.
Well, that was really interesting to see, and man, I'm stoked on how good it sounded. I was listening outside, and from a distance, it sounds great.
It should be great.
I think it'll be a blast to take Cavill for a rip in it. As a matter of fact, is it time, PT?
I think it's
Time to do the big reveal?
I think so.
All right, Cavill, it is time for the big reveal.
What did you guys do?
I will close the door here. You recognize the car, of course.
I do, yeah.
But we have modified it, and to be honest, you didn't know that we had your car and that we were going to do a few things to it, but you just didn't know the details.
Yep.
And you know our style,
Okay.
so here we go.
Wow.
We, of course, have changed the wheels and tires.
Holy smokes.
These are Enki. What model are these, PT?
T6R.
T6R. So
They shoot the car really well.
it's a really clean six-boat
Yep.
design, and I love the gloss black on the orange. I think it's a really color.
I'm in shock right now.
And you'll also notice we did the HFP front lip.
Oh wow,
We did a Mugen style
Yeah,
real spoiler
yeah.
that we can talk about more when we go for a test
It
drive.
looks good.
But
It
have a
looks
look
good.
at your dyno graph.
Let's take a look.
We know you're a horsepower guy, so it did pretty well, man.
Okay, yeah.
Peak 196
Yeah.
and 147 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay,
so
yeah.
good healthy
Seems
numbers.
healthy.
Rather than us yakking about everything else we've done, I think we should just go for a drive.
Yeah, let's do it.
Experience the car and we can talk about it more there.
Yeah, it looks so good.
All right, everyone. I should have introduced Cavill properly before, which I didn't really do. This is Cavill from Make It Shine, and you guys would have seen him in some of our videos before, including like doing some vinyl wrapping on my Lexus, and obviously we've got some sound enhancements with the intake and the exhaust.
Yeah,
so,
the car sounds nice. It's not even droney. It's not too loud. We're cruising what, 5th gear, 2,500 RPM.
yeah, cruising at low RPM, it's really very good. And if you give us a couple downshifts here, let's make some noise. Give us the full rip, bro.
Oh, it sounds great. Oh yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Great. That sounds awesome.
And
it's
notice,
so smooth.
Yes, and notice the shifter obviously we changed out too.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. That's right. We need more tech, bro. We need more tech. Yeah, boy.
There you go.
Yeah, boy. You got quick hands too, man. You're a quick shifter. I like it.
Thank you.
You've been watching a lot of Fast and Furious with those quick shifts.
Oh, I've been watching you driving at TMP there, buddy.
All right, last run on the tech here.
Let's do it.
There she goes. Man, Nick did a nice job on the tune, eh?
The car is like, even the pull is super smooth. Even just when we were driving through the city just now, and the tip-in is perfect. Part throttle is super nice. It's not jerky at all.
Yeah, before you got here, you'd spent a lot of time tuning in the part throttle. So
yeah, I mean, that's where the quality of the tune is, right?
That's where most of the hard work really goes. I don't think everyone really appreciates that.
Yeah, the car feels nice, man. Holy jeez.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by how well these NX suspension takes the bumps.
Yeah, even
it's
just going
firm,
over there,
but it's never harsh. And that's a hard combination to dial in.
Man, I know this might sound crazy, but we had the Koni STR, like the orange shocks in here with the stock springs. And right now the car feels very close to that.
Yeah, it really hasn't added much harshness at all.
Yeah.
Really impressed too by their NVH. The top radial bearing that we showed during the install actually has like a layer of rubber in it.
Oh, nice.
And that helps isolate the top hat from the chassis. And so you don't get any of that like rattling or crashing over bumps with it.
Right.
It does an exceptional job of controlling NVH. So I've driven it for the last couple of days. And even on highways and potholes and stuff, the ride quality has been really good.
One thing that I feel too is the tires are very smooth, very quiet.
Yes,
And,
these are a nice street tire. They're very, I would almost describe them as like a sophisticated street tire because they have such good ride quality, and yet they have really high grip levels. So like around the racetrack, we've tested these a lot at TMP, and they have a ton of grip. So as we're going to find out, we're going to take this thing to TMP tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
So go to Speed Academy Plus, our other channel, and we're going to post that video where you and I will go and rip some tech together. Well, there you have it. That is a wrap on this one. And how much fun was that to turn this Civic from like a boring bone stock SI into what is a really, really enjoyable street car that will also be, I think, very capable at the racetrack. Hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have. And by the way, all the products that we've used in this build, you will find links to in the description. And of course, most of all, thank you very much, eBay, for all your support on this build. How awesome is it that you can just go and buy all of these parts in one place? They make it very simple to enjoy your car or any other hobby you want. It's all for sale on there. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and we will catch you in the next Mod My Ride series. And by the way, what would you want to see us build next? Let us know in the comments below. Wow. Very impressed by the roll control and the overall ride quality on these NX coilovers so far. Car feels very stable.